Oh, you're drinking? Celebrating?
We're gonna do a lap with a beer.
No, we're not. We're not late model people. We class it up.
We are not.
I first came here ever in my life for the Outlaw reopener when the track reopened, and this place is like completely transformed. This is possibly one of the. I mean, we've been around. You've obviously late model director. You've been to a lot of tracks, racer, all style of titles.
Yeah.
This is right up there. I mean, they call Lucas Oil the Diamond of Dirt, but this is definitely rivaling it.
I mean, I feel like we're close. I mean, you know, they've definitely done a great job when they rebuilt all the facility, and this side of the fence is I feel like it's as good as pretty much any in the country. You know, there's a lot of cool things we have, and they've done a really good job with it. So, you know, I think we got a great facility to be able to host some sponsors and people, and you know, having the rooftop bar and suites and all that good stuff. We just, I think we just
grandstands, drag strip right in the background over here. You know,
I
mean,
we just, I just think we need to get the racetrack a little, you know, a little better.
Well, location. They always say in real estate, location, location. That's probably the toughest thing that y'all are dealing with here, I guess.
Yeah, I mean, there's a lot of places that are probably not real nice, but do really well, and I think a lot of that's just where they're at. So, I mean, you know, the location is tough. I mean, I feel like, honestly, and we've had this conversation with the High Limit guys today, where I think we try and pull more from the small towns east and south of here than we really do Kansas City. So, so yeah, it's tough. I mean, we're not, like I said, we're what, 40 minutes from the middle of Kansas City, but it's especially on a Tuesday night, it's tough.
Well, I would call that perspective of what is happening behind us. You know, most people, I say this at least, they think most of this is flag football. They don't understand that this is Formula One, NASCAR level talent and stuff along those lines. Is that something you've maybe discovered in trying to promote a track, is trying to maybe potentially change that perception of what is actually even on a weekly basis? You got some guys probably at your weekly shows that are NASCAR has talent, just didn't have NASCAR opportunity or money or whatever, you know?
Yeah, for sure. I mean, we, you know, like everything we tried to do this year, we tried to make it a big event, or give it that big event feel. Like whether it's 360 sprint cars or non-wing sprint cars, or even like last week we did B-mods and stock cars and E-mods and a bunch of that type of stuff. We were trying to really give all of it a big event feel. But yeah, there's a lot of really good racers around here. We just need to get them. It's just tough. You know, it's not the old days of you know, this place, that grass right there was the old I-70. It was a 5/8 mile, and people came here and didn't think twice about racing here.
Right.
And now, like, you know, we're just under a half mile, and it's pretty hard to get people to want to come race here. So times have changed. I think we need to adapt and get to where we have a little bit more racer-friendly racetrack, and I think that will help car counts. I think that will help series want to come back, because there's definitely series that have been here that just aren't super interested in coming back. So, you know.
And is it really track size? Is that what the complaint is? It?
Yeah.
Well, I mean, maybe shape too. The shape doesn't really.
Say it's big, and I said, and my
argument, race is big.
My argument is it's the exact same size as Lakeside, and you guys go there. And it is. It's the exact same size, but it races way, way faster.
Yeah. It doesn't really have a break off of one and all the way around.
Really, the back stretch is what makes this place so fast. Like, it has the dog leg, and you can really run off of 2 and really drive down into 3. Like, the back stretch really just makes this place race.
And then it sweeps off of 4, so you don't really cut the car really till down there.
It's not much bigger than some of the places they'll go, but it definitely races faster.
So I don't want to get off topic, but I'm interested on this perspective from your side of things. You've been a regional series director. You've been a regional / national driver, talent-wise, I think, personally. I'm not trying to stroke your ego too much. I mean, you could whoop all the KKM guys at Chili Bowl. They just have a better car than you. What I'm trying to say, though, then you went late model. Obviously, this was the big switch. Late model series director. And then here, what are some of the biggest switcheroos there? Because obviously, regional sprint car series director, you would try to sell to regional tracks. Hey, bring my series there. I'll help you get fans. Then you go to a late model area where it's like you just got to show up and people are probably begging for a date.
Yeah.
And then you come here and it's now you're the receiving end of the attacker. So karma full circle. I'm just saying, karma full circle. So now they're selling you, and you are on that side. How are these different perspectives? How have they all collaborated? Did you learn from one side that has helped you on this side to deal with it? I mean, it just has, and the element of promotion, a whole nother game, because a series promoter versus a track promoter has to be night and day.
Oh yeah, I mean, you know, like I said the same thing to someone not too long ago, but it's like every step I've taken, or, you know, like you said, we bought and owned WAR, and then, you know, we sold WAR, and then I ended up with the Outlaws, and it seems like every step I've taken, it's just added more work. It's all the same, like everything's the same, and then but plus more, you know, and you know, this, like, you're still talking to series, you're still talking to teams, you're still talking to racers, you know, but now you're trying to market your racetrack and do a lot of stuff. Like it's
almost ground level in a way, is it not? As far as promotion,
when I was with the Outlaws, like the promotion side, I had nothing.
It was done.
Like
the drivers, the team.
We had people doing that, so like I didn't have to worry about that side of things. You know, I still dealt with the teams, and I still dealt with you know, racetracks and stuff, but like the promotion side was a whole different thing.
The selling aspect.
Yeah, like trying to get butts in these seats. Right. I never had to, that wasn't my job, and I didn't have to worry about it. And now, like, that's a huge part of my job, you know, getting butts in the seats, but then getting the racetrack ride and you know, all the other little stuff that goes along with having a racetrack. So I just keep adding workload to my, you know, to my job. But it's cool. Like, this is where I really kind of felt like I always wanted to be, or planned to be, when I got done racing. Like I wanted to be part of doing a racetrack and promoting races, and I just took a little different road to get there. You know, I went the series route first, but kind of this is where I always was hoping or thinking I would fit. So it just took a little while.
Did any of the series stuff actually prepare you for anything here? I feel like when you go to a track, it's not only just in the selling and marketing, but there's a whole list of responsibilities that in that series role you really, I mean, you got to worry about, but you're not the one responsible for.
Yeah, there's definitely things that I like we said, I didn't have to deal with on the series side, but there's a lot of things on the business side, you know, because when I was with the Outlaws or whatever, and I mean, even with WAR, like, you know, the business side of things, as far as working with promoters and you know, sponsorships and sanction fees and all that stuff, like, there was a lot of it I learned, and I learned a lot with the Outlaws. I mean, you know, having to sit in an office 2 hours after the race and doing settlements and figuring up, you know, trying to figure out if we made money or not, and splitting money up and stuff. Like, I learned a lot there. I mean, you know, maybe some of it what to do and maybe some what not to do, but I definitely learned a lot over there.
Well, and then I guess probably the bigger challenge is once again just butts in the seat, and that has to be probably one of the stressful deals. And it doesn't even matter how good of a promotion you may do, if there's another race in another town, or if there's something else happening, you're kind of just XYZ'd, and then you're paying the bill. Whereas on the series side, you kind of get the bill paid. Yeah. And on the track side is the gamble side. You know, the series is taken care of. You know, they get their fees. It don't matter if you got 2,000 people or 1,000 people. The series is paid. That has to be the other element that is more strenuous.
Yeah, when you know, series director and stuff with the Outlaws, you know, you'd sit in the infield with the promoter or the owner, and you kind of look up and you're like, hey, what's it hold? How many do you think are here?
Sympathize.
And, you know, you're like,
if it's a bad night,
I think you should get there, right? You know? Right. And you're like, there's no way,
right?
But you know, like so being on this side of things and trying to get butts in the seats, and you're right, you know, there's so many things that, you know, whether, you know, Warrensburg is 30 minutes down the road, and they just have local kind of Saturday night racing, but it definitely affects what we do. Like, you know, there's people that are going to go to that racetrack every Saturday, and they might show up and not even know what's racing, but they are just trained to go there, and they've got a really good thing going. So that's what we need to do, is we need to build up a fan base and people that they know that, you know, whether it's weekly or if it's every other week, like I-70's running and they're going to do something, and we need to go. So that's the challenge right now.
Well, and I've had this theory slowly developed here recently, because I got involved with weekly racing and trying to build the sport up, and I've slowly over the last 5 years kind of thought maybe something like racing was never intended or built to be a weekly, every single week thing. Is it really an event? is the sport more so built for an event basis? You know, when there is more things to do. You know, when racing was cool and new, vehicles were only like 30 years old.
Right.
Everybody wanted to go see how crazy they could be in the vehicles, but now we got into a world of competition, and we're on a Saturday, Friday night, we're competing with Taylor Swifts and concerts and bars. You know, is it really to a point where weekly racing survived at a point where there wasn't much to really do? Now it seems like that event is kind of what needs to go. Or is weekly racing only surviving because of competitors more so than fans?
Yeah, I mean, I think there's certain places that weekly racing works. You know, like for instance, Putnamville, Lincoln Park Speedway. I used to go race there every Saturday night.
Right.
I think weekly racing works there. What, you know, the location,
certain areas, PA,
certain
stuff
places
like
it
that
works. You know, certain places you can just run every Saturday night, and you know you're going to get your 2,000 people in the stands, and you're good.
Clockwork.
Some places I just don't think it works. Like I don't ever see this being a weekly track. I mean, you know, there's a lot of expense for this place in particular to run, and I just don't ever see it. I think it's harder. There are a few places that work weekly, but I think there's more that don't. Like I don't see how we'd ever do a weekly thing. You know, I think at best if we reconfigure and maybe run twice a month, so you know every other week. I think that's probably where we end up. I mean, you know, this year we basically kind of had once a month. You know, we ran about 12 races. So,
well, we were just I was just chatting with Brian Brown. Really, what everybody wants is to develop probably 4 events, real events.
Yeah.
You know, most people are trying to make one. You know, we see people throwing millions and millions and banks at the deal, trying to just develop one.
Right.
Is that kind of like the forte, and then hopefully those 4 events pay for the other little losses or events along the way?
I think that's a lot of people are like that. Like I think a lot of people work their ass off to run weekly to just break even weekly,
keep the racer happy.
Well,
you know,
and keep the fan base, and you know, like I think there's something to that, you know, and in hopes to have that one big home run, whether it's a Lucas late model race, and you know, certain areas it's a Lucas race, or certain areas it's a World of Outlaw sprint car race, or you know, I think a lot of these smaller racetracks are like they do it every week just to kind of survive to get to that one.
Well, I mean, you have a facility here. I was almost relating it to Perth. It is that damn badass. For being a place in Missouri somewhere. Right. I know you got Lucas Oil. I mean, that's a diamond of dirt.
It's nice too.
I mean, they got the bays and stuff where you wash your trailer. You don't have that, do you?
We have car washes back there. We do. There's one back
sure?
There. There is a car wash back there.
Well, do you have jet boats, sir?
We don't. We have a pond. So we have a little.
You have a pond? Do you have a motocross track or something?
We're getting there. You're
getting there. Is the drag strip actually starting up, or is it started?
They've been running this year, yeah.
Oh my God! Yep. So you got it all going.
We're getting there.
So what is it? Okay, sorry. Reset. What is the reconfiguration here? Because I was thinking about this myself. I'm like, they're not going to move those light poles, I would think.
We might.
What?
We might.
That's a big thing.
That's what I thought too. But luckily, our owner.
What do you mean? Are you going to do I-55 here? What are we talking about?
That was one of the thoughts.
Oh, okay. Oh, really? Okay.
No, it's going to be about a third mile is kind of what we were looking at. All of this front straightaway is kind of going to be the same, but the back straightaway is going to only probably go about halfway out there now.
So what are you talking about? Like a BAPS? Like a mini Port Royal? I mean, honestly, that's a long straightaway to make a third mile out of.
Well, I mean, yeah, the corners.
They're going to have to really rip it to make that a third mile.
The corners are they're going to come in. I mean, I feel
so
like
the wall is going to change. This is not going to be the same length.
The front straightaway wall is the same, but everything else is going to change. So like I feel like we're probably going to end up being very similar to like Lucas, but just slightly smaller. You know,
banked. What are we talking about?
Yeah, I mean the banking is probably going to be about like this off of 4.
Okay.
Is going to be about like that. It's not going to be quite as big.
What about width? Are we talking about? That's a lot of width to keep
like
for
85 feet.
Are you going to keep that?
Yeah.
And then are you going to bring?
Start with that.
Are you going to bring it all in?
Yeah.
And then are you going to put a new fence and everything, or?
Yep.
So this is literally happening.
Yeah. Yeah.
And then what's the idea? Late models, sprint cars. I know. It's a weird country. USMTS is popular in this area. Did y'all have a USMTS race? Did that sell well?
Like we tried to have one last year and got rained out. They have been here. We got rained out last year, so
IMCA stock cars seem to be getting some.
I mean, we just ran last week with stock cars and modifieds and all that stuff, and had a really good turnout with all that stuff. So
right.
I don't know. I think we get the track a little shorter. The possibilities open up a lot as far as what we can run here. You know, right now it's just tough. I mean,
it's a little bit of a Talladega.
Yeah, I mean, you know, like obviously tonight we had 34 race cars, which was more than I was thinking we would have.
34 900 horsepower right rears to dry the place out. That's a big deal.
Right. But I mean, you know, like I don't know. I just think we get it shorter and we get it a little more racer friendly, and then we can bring in a lot of different stuff, and people aren't worried about coming. You know, I mean, Lucas came here a couple of years ago, and they just didn't want to come back. So we just got to do something to get to where we can have a bunch of different series and big series and different type of race cars want to come.
But it seems like you are putting in the investments. This isn't something that's just going to like roll the dice and go away. This is something you're going to roll the dice and make happen and make work. It seems
absolutely.
like.
I mean, the owners and
because I-70 has a history of opening, closing, kind of switching and doing, and I feel like that could potentially be playing a part too.
I feel like if we keep going where we're at, I mean, this is the end of my second year, and I think if we just keep going down this route, I think inevitably at some point they're going to say this isn't working. You know, like it. I mean, obviously the facility's here, and we had a lot of great stuff, and the owners are amazing to work with. We just need to change it up, and we need to adapt. So, I think we get it. We just get it shortened up and get it to where it races really good, and I think all those series will want to come back.
Well, the one thing you have to change is you can't put Gordy Gundaker on any flyers or advertisements.
There, look at that! Look at that thing. That's nice. Fucking droops at like 54 inches or whatever.
Oh, I know.
For one night only.
Oh God, is that what you want?
No, I really would love to have.
Do you miss your late model people? Do you miss them?
There are some.
Do you miss some? Some. Is that an underlined word?
No, I mean I met a lot of really cool people over there, and I do miss some of them. I miss Boom.
Boom Briggs
Boom's
with the bush lattes.
Yeah, Boom's my buddy.
He is, man.
I miss Boom. He's a good dude.
He's great.
I've met a lot of really cool people over there.
Tim McCready.
I like Tim.
He's such a good guy.
Tim's a good dude. Brandon Overton's a good dude. Devin Rand's a good dude. Like, there's a lot of them.
Well, you actually know. Wow. You're not naming certain names because you know the good ones.
now you're trying to start.
Oh, I'm not. I'm telling the truth. I agree.
There's a lot of good dudes there.
But you're naming the cream of the crop, basically.
Yeah.
When you're naming those names.
Overton.
Yeah.
I love Overton.
Yeah.
That guy.
Drupa, please, once again.
Worst night in the world, and he's still like in a pretty good mood. Like he's
as long as that left rear's in the air.
Nah, there's some good dudes over there. I would love to have, like, whether it's Lucas or Outlaws or whatever, I would love to have those guys back. And, you know, I think the area would like it. I mean, you know, they don't really get to run around here too much. I mean, obviously Lucas, but 2 hours away. So we'll see. Hopefully we can get some of them back.
But this is how we ride. This is how we do.